Hello, hello, hello. I'm on or non.
Tim Blue
And together we are father.
and son Footie.
Awesome. We've been away for a couple of reasons. We apologize. Exams and a sheer Chelsea fan depression, particularly in the midst of that Brighton debacle. The Brighton, we need something with B that's bollocks. The Brighton. Anyway, the point being is that was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Awful, 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 awful.
No football played.
So let's talk for a second about how rubbish that was, and then we'll talk about this last game. So in the midst of those performances, what was it? A run of 8 million games without a win, I think, right? Since the
We
dawn
won
of time.
3 out of 10.
Season-defining terribleness. And because we had a really good run of there are no easy games, but let's say opponents that Chelsea should have, could have, and has done really well against historically as well. And we just repeated a pattern. What were the games like, Jamie?
We kept on doing literally the same thing. Went from the right, crossed it in. All of our crosses was so bad.
Super creative it was, wasn't it?
We just missed every single shot. Palmer was the only standing out player in those 10 games, the best player in those
And he's been on the driest spell of his career, right? So it's like, yeah. Anyway, go on.
That's how bad.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah.
That's how bad we are.
What about, okay, so let me just make sure I understood you. You said that the attack patterns followed a very predictable formation, a very predictable build-up.
Me and my soccer team could do better than that. They're just running straight
at
at
them. Got a very good soccer team. And so, hey, look, that was not, it didn't seem like it was really using the best of what we had. Of course, we had those, a very poor January window, which was backed up by 2 shock injuries back to back. Just when Guyu was, this was Guyu's moment to shine. He gets really badly injured. It's very unfortunate.
I hope he comes back in the Conference League.
It's very unfortunate. And then Kunku has been taking his sweet, sweet time in finding form.
Finally, this game, he's back.
I'll tell you what I wanted to add to what you said. It was very hard to find bits in those games where 3 players have made 3 good decisions and 3 good executions in a row. Now, at this professional level, and I'm not going to mention how much money they're making, I'm not going to mention how much money they bought them for. These are football players, but these are professional football players that have done this day in, day out, and it's time to execute. Of course, they're not playing. Of course, they're not playing. It's not just the finishing. Here's my point. All I'm asking for is for 3 actions in a row, thought well, so right decision, and executed well. All right? So let's say it's a run, a well-timed run. Let's say it's followed up by a pass, a good pass. Let's say it's followed by
a shot. Good shot.
Could be nice. It could be nice. But that was not to be. You had these immensely disjointed performances where 2 of them were doing it, but then the third one botched it up, or one guy was doing a great run and the other guy was like going left when the other guy was going right. So I don't know why that is, but one thing I can say for Maresca is that despite what felt like very non-creative play, it felt like he was trying to tweak with different players and slightly different formations and working with the idea of, not having his, pinpoint striker. And it took a few games of absolute drudgery, particularly that Brighton mess.
But now let's talk about our game.
One more thing in our psycho, the shrink session, which is father and son footy. The pattern that I felt we followed, mate, was going up and then losing, going up and then losing. starting well and then losing. And also, if we had one good second half, we didn't really translate that onto the next game, right? So it was one of these terribly disjointed. But, like you said, silver linings. We're fifth somehow. I mean, we should be with this run of form. We should be 10th and out. Long gone. Our season should be tucked in, sleeping, dreaming.
I don't know how we're fifth.
But
because of the start of the season, the second place,
we
10
do
points above
have
everyone
the
really
most challenging May I don't remember a May like this ever.
First Liverpool, then Newcastle, then Man United,
and then Nottingham Forest.
And then Nottingham Forest.
Whoo-hee! It's all going to come down to that, which is a shame because if we played well, then we would have already secured it. But the point is, somehow we still got a lot to play for, which is great. So let's get back without further ado to our 4-0 Southampton victory. Can we play you every week? As for Southampton. So, do tell me, Jamie, what are your impressions of the game?
Southampton were very well formed. It was just, I don't know what happened to us in all those other games. This game, I felt like we were watching start of the season Chelsea instead of now Chelsea. It really stood out how we played. I loved the passing. It was just a good match.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Beautiful.
I tell you what, for me, there still is a question about that, how we go in possession. And it's one of the reasons why I think it reminds you of the start of the season was that there were some possessions which were more transition-y, more running, and not just walking.
If we had Noni in some of those, in some of those, Neto stopped when you could have kept running. If that was Noni, he would have just speeded all the way through.
That goal by Neto just brings a smile to my face. What a rocket to the mid-left. Before the goalie even knew where he was or who he was, that ball was in the back of the net. Boom. That was great.
Yeah, but it was very strange. Neto's place. It was like a false 9 winger. It was so weird. He was like attacker and winger.
Yeah, it really, really was. It seemed like we brought up when we were pressing high that him and Palmer went up as our front two, pressing that space in the back. But when we were in possession, it was almost like they're taking turns at who goes where. You had Sancho on the right, which was not something we've been used to seeing.
Yeah, he had a very bad game.
Not very bad. Exactly. He is still in that funk. You know, he's still in that funk where you have.
But I just remember that goal against Tottenham. That's at the
beauty.
box.
He's got it. These are really, really talented players, and it just seems like they need to get out of their funk. They need to get their happy on, and they need to get their self-belief on. Which brings me to Nkunku. I felt that Nkunku is slowly finding his place. He's slowly finding his fight.
I'm seeing that we're going from attack to bottom.
Yeah. That's what's happening.
So Nkunku, I feel like he's found his spot in the team. Until Misha is back, left wing.
We wish you, Misha, to get back and to beat these ridiculous allegations against you. Please continue.
Nkunku played insanely well today in the left. His goal, his assist was just Palmer. He should have passed to Nkunku there.
Yeah, so 10 seconds before the goal. So tell us what happened.
Palmer kicked it when he could have easily just passed it and we could have scored. Then it went out to a corner. Nkunku was like, if I'm not going to score that, I got to score this one.
It was, dogged,
bravery. That is
powerful fight. It was great to see
the most bravery I've seen in any of our players, just running in when he could have gotten smashed in the head against the goalie.
It's great to see. That's the kind of thing we want to see. Hopefully, we've turned a corner with Nkunku, because if we're going into this run now with an informed Nkunku, my word, that could be a game changer. So, and that is another thing that Maresca is doing well. He's giving these players a real chance to try and to settle in and to have a go He's not just replacing them willy-nilly after a bad game. So that brings us to, if we go back, let's skip Palmer. Let's finish on Cole.
Why?
Let's go past, I don't know. Let's go past him and go
to Caicedo.
To Caicedo.
I want to keep the best one for last.
Righto. So
In
with
the midfield.
Caicedo, I've had a bit of criticism for Caicedo because he's had some brain freezes for me. He's been, look, solid, fantastic, great, but a few brain freezes, and oftentimes people have said that the reason that is happening is because he's being asked to do too much. Be there, be here, be up, be down, be there, be everywhere.
He's playing CB and midfield at the same time. Pick a position.
He's being asked to do quite a lot.
And every time he has the ball on attack, the friends are screaming, shoot!
I would
and
also like
pressure.
to see him do more on attack, but you're
really?
right. Yes.
He's CDM. I want him to stay back and defend.
He's being asked to do absolutely
You're
everything.
asking him now to do too much.
I think
You're telling him to do better attack.
I think he's got... well, in football, it's not like American football where you have a defense team and an attack team. You got to do both. Anyway, moving on. Enzo. Hello.
He was everywhere.
Fernandez.
One bad move. You called him. He's such a waste of 100 million. He just whoop, and had the best game of his career. He just was everywhere.
Oh,
great passes. Great. So close to scoring 3 times. If Palmer passed him the ball in the cutback.
It's so good to see him there, though. He is making those Lampard runs into the box. That is going to land. He is going to get those. He got one last week against Aston Villa, but he will be getting more of those.
He scored the one.
Enzo, yes. Enzo, you have arrived. This is what we've been waiting for from the moment we got him. This Fabregas unlocker of defenses, the person that sees the next pass before anybody else does. Isagi from Blue Lock. And you know what, Jamie? In this game, he managed to find a player before anybody saw it, and it looked like he had time. My man, Enzo Fernandez, do that again. Do that again.
His pass through to Palmer.
That one-on-one.
Through to Palmer. Palmer had a pretty good chance. He just kicks it wide.
Yeah. Poor Palmer.
0 goals on target. 0 kicks on target.
Cool. So let's get down to defense. We had
substitutes
Gusto.
last, and then we do the substitutes after.
Whatever you like. You could do substitutes now if you want.
Nah, Gusto was. I can't believe Gusto has been this well played.
Yeah, because he's also been in a funk, and he's been a bit uncertain. Funk? Oh yeah, he's not been himself for a few games, and he's been
playing pretty well.
Well, he is an amazing player, but I just feel, Jamie, that Gusto, this game was a game of 2 halves for him, where he was like finding his feet, but then he did what he needed to do on defense, and he popped up on attack as well. What about our left wing? What about our Cucurella with another goal, well taken, thought of.
Had so much time. Their defenders just didn't know what to do.
That cutback from our boy Tyreek.
He is so young, and how's he so...
Even
we have
Palmer
such
is
a good
22. This team has time. Just, if you could just please give us Champions League next year, that'd be lovely. But honestly...
And when we get Champions League, we'll have Estevao and Paez.
Controversial perhaps, but I'm ready to wait.
Really?
Yes, I am. This team, I don't think is going to be ready next year. I think it's going to be ready the year after that.
Because of Estevao,
now, that is a sad
needs
thing.
To settle in and everything?
Everyone. And the system. It is a sad thing to say, but good things come to those who wait. I don't want Chelsea to be a forever, we're going to get their team, but stay the course. Stay the course. Now, let's get back to our defense. Colwill scored. What a header.
Against his own club and celebrated.
No, this is his club. He was just born there. He's a Chelsea boy through and through from like age 6 or whatever. But and he did a spell there on loan. But the point I'm saying is this.
Neto's cross was
assist
fantastic. And goal. He was probably... Who got man of the match? Neto, right?
I don't know. But look, Neto earned it. Fernando's earned it.
And Nkunku. Nkunku.
Nkunku was the pivot. If Nkunku didn't do what he did, would we have had a 4-0? I don't know.
No, it had
But
3-0. But
no, I don't. I'm not even sure we'd have an anything nil because there's a matter of dynamics and there's a matter of like belief.
passes.
All right, because we've been going on for 15 minutes and obviously we've missed this a bit, haven't we? So look at us talking away. You tell me.
Tosin, he played
how you feel about Tosin.
good defender. He was good. He did score a goal. I don't expect him to score a goal,
Mm.
but I just every time I hear Tosin score a goal, it's just like I remember that goal outside the box, screamer into full corner.
Absolutely.
You're a defender.
Now tell me about Jorgensen.
That save. Oh.
Great save, two-handed jump to his left of a header, really well positioned. He made a few quick steps to get into position there. That for me was a thing of beauty because if he was not in the right position, no matter how far he jumped, he would not get there. But because he set himself correctly, he managed to make that look easy.
And in the same day, because I watched him, I won my semi-finals. I'm going to the finals in my futsal.
Well done. Jamie played such a great game. Jamie, go.
Substitutes now.
Yeah.
Tyreek was
great. Our French
Who's this? Agu.
Well, there's two players that were two young
and-
players, one that we brought from France and one academy boy. But here's this. This is the kind of thing you want. You want to see that happen. You want to give rest to
His
your boys.
first touch was a kick on target.
Beautiful.
And
the header?
Yeah.
All right, look, because we're running out of time
And Palmer
here,
couldn't even get one goal on target.
Let's finish with Palmer. What's your take on Cole Palmer?
Shit. His passes were all good, all right. His finishing was shat.
And
I love you, Palmer, but it's just so bad.
I think Palmer knows that, and this is not. It's obviously a bit in his head. He's a bit in his head because he's got the technique, he's got the gift, and yeah, a bit of a funk. He's in a bit of a funk, and we're waiting for him to break out of it. But we will wait for you, Cole Palmer, because you are the cold one. And so, thank you very much, and we will be off ski. That was a great game. I called it 4-0. It ended 4-0. We got a couple of really interesting weeks coming up: a Friday, Monday. Well, for us in Australia. At any rate, Jamie?
Keep the blue flag flying high.